Welcome to Alibro's EduSoft Free Education YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss part 6 of Business Studies Class Plus 1 first chapter. Let's get into the video. Hello friends. In this video we are going to discuss about the definition and the elaborative explanation of what commerce is. In the previous part of this chapter we have discussed a chart which shows the categories which are involved in business. The business, it is divided into industry and commerce, and we have explained the subcategories which are involved in industry. And in this video we are going to discuss what commerce is, what are its classification, and commerce from the chart, it is divided into trade and auxiliaries to trade. And in the trade section, trade is again divided into internal trade and external trade. And this internal trade and external trade, they are again divided into many subcategories. First one is the internal trade, which is divided into wholesale and retail trade. And in external trade, it is divided into import trade, export trade, and entry port trade. And these are the categories involved in trade. And when we divide the subcategories of auxiliaries to trade, it involves transportation, warehousing, insurance, banking and finance, and advertising. So these are the auxiliaries to trade. Now we are going in detail what each and every term in the subcategory of commerce mean. So first we are with commerce. First itself we are moving on to an equation of what is commerce. Before moving on to the equation commerce, I need to remember you about what commerce is. Since we are going to look what commerce is, before that in the previous parts I have explained what commerce and what is its meaning. All activities which are necessary for facilitating exchange of goods and services is called by the term commerce. Commerce means all activities which are necessary for facilitating exchange of goods and services. So, for the smooth flow of trade, there can be some activities which will be responsible for the facilitation of the goods and services and for its exchange. And those activities which helps for the smooth flow of trade is called commerce. In this first equation given, what commerce includes and what is its meaning? Commerce is equal to trade plus aids to trade. What is commerce? What is its equation? It means trade plus aids to trade. We know what trade is. Trade is the buying and selling of goods and services between persons or group of persons in a place. That place may be called as market. And aids to trade is the activities which helps the trading activities to move in a uninterrupted manner. So that is aids to trade. We will discuss more about aids to trade in this chapter itself. So kindly note this equation. Commerce is equal to trade plus aids to trade. You can point out this equation of commerce in the examination as this help you to gain more marks. First point, commerce includes trade and auxiliaries to trade. That is the elaborative description of the equation of commerce. Next is, what is trade? Here we have explained in the initial part an elaborative definition of trade, and in this second point have given you a brief definition of trade. Buying and selling of goods is termed as trade. Buying and selling of goods is termed as trade. But more than the trade, there are many other activities which are involved in the process of trade. Okay? There are a lot of activities that facilitates the process of trade, and these activities are called auxiliaries to trade or aids to trade. These activities are called auxiliaries to trade or aids to trade. Auxiliary means helping the primary activity. Next is, we studied that commerce is equal to trade plus aids to trade, and in this we are going to see what are the factors which are involved in aids to trade. Aids to trade include services like banking, insurance, communication, advertisement, and warehousing. Aids to trade include services like banking, insurance, communication, advertisement, and warehousing. Note the subpoints like banking, insurance, communication, etc. as we'll need a further more explanation of what each term or what factors in each aids to trade mean. Industry looks after the production aspect of business, whereas commerce looks after the distribution aspect of business. In this point, we are giving you a brief comparison of what industry looks into and what commerce looks into. This industry and commerce, we have the classification before in hand. What does industry looks is about the production aspect of business. The business and its production factors, how a product can be produced and what all the methods can be used for the production of a particular product, and what are the activities which are involved in the production of that particular product which is involved in business. So these are the process or steps which are involved in the category of industry. But what commerce looks is about the distribution aspect of business. Distribution aspect here refers to after a product is formed or made, that product when put in the industry idle cannot be made for any use by the people, right? If a product is manufactured or if a product is made, if the product has become a finished good, that good need to be consumed by the consumers. Then only it will have a value. If a product is setting idle, then that product is of no use, right? So, when the production of a product is completed, when it has attained the last stage of completion, it needs to be distributed to the final customers or consumers who are in need of that product. So, that product needs to be distributed. How can a product to be distributed to the final consumers? Do the consumers or the people who are in need of the product will come to the industry and collect it? No, they should be given at their nearest points like shops, supermarkets, or where the product is to be distributed. And this product cannot be distributed in a single manner. There are some process or there are some auxiliaries of trade which are needed, like the transportation, then insurance, infrastructure, then banking, etc. for the product to be gotten by the consumers. So that distribution aspects, all those factors which are involved in the distribution aspects is involved in the term commerce. So I think now you understood what industry and commerce differ from in what aspects. Industry, it's mainly dependent on the production aspect, and the commerce, it is fully dependent on the distribution aspect. Whatever is produced, it must be consumed. That is a point which I already explained in the before one, that Products, they are manufactured or they are produced only for the consumption, and they are not set for sitting idle, or they are not put in piles in the industry for no use. They need to be used up by the people who are in need of that particular products. So whatever is produced in the factory or in the industry, it needs to be consumed, which is the essence of commerce. To facilitate this consumption, there must be a distribution aspect as well as a proper distribution channel. So the consumers need to get the products through a proper distribution channel. That distribution channel is very important. Commerce facilitates the transfer of goods from producers to consumers. Okay? What commerce facilitates is it's a transfer of goods from producers to consumer. It's not kept with the producers, or it's not kept with the wholesalers, retailers or something. It is the mere transfer of the producer, that is the products which are made by the people and the products which are finally used by the people. Okay? Next is commerce. It's a connecting link between producers and consumers. The first 2 points here mentions about the connection or the relationship which is made between the consumers and producers, or vice versa. Last one is the commerce, which includes all these activities which are necessary for maintaining a free flow of goods from producers to consumers. So what all activities are involved to maintain a smooth flow from producers to consumers, all these are included in the term called commerce. Okay, so all these points had a very great relationship with the equation which is given in the initial part of the this section, that commerce is equal to trade plus aids to trade. So this includes the buying and selling of goods and services, or the exchange of goods and services, also the activities which are necessary for maintaining the free flow of goods and services from the producers to consumers. So this is about the idea of what the term commerce is. I am repeating each and every point and clearly explaining all these, as the word commerce in this chapter is very important. I think you understood what the idea of commerce is. So next we are going to look into the definition of commerce. Here we have studied about the meaning and equation of commerce, and next we are moving on to the definition of commerce. What the definition of commerce is? Commerce means the sum total of those processes which are engaged in the removal of the hindrances of person, place and time in the exchange of commodities. Okay? So, you know that in economics or in business studies or in any stream, there will be many personalities who will be giving the definitions. Here also we have many famous personalities who have given the definition of commerce, and in this we are going to study a famous definition. The name is unknown. The definition of commerce means that sum total of those processes which are engaged in the removal of the hindrances of person, place and time in the exchange of commodities. So we know that in the flow of trade there will be a manner in which happens in the exchange of commodities. That in the exchange of commodities there may arise some hindrances with regards to person, place and time. Okay, so these hindrances can be removed through hindrance of place, hindrance of time and hindrance of person. It can be removed through transportation, banking, insurance, advertising and all these auxiliaries of trade factors. So when we are asked about what is commerce, it is all the activities or the sum total of activities involved or which are engaged in the removal of these hindrances which are explained earlier. When talking about the process of trade, there are many hindrances that we studied. That is a hindrance of place, hindrance of time, hindrance of knowledge, hindrances of finance, and hindrance of risk. There are many more hindrances that can happen in commerce, as you know that the commerce is all about trade and its related activities. Also, these trade and related activities, they are uncertain, and we cannot predict that it will happen in at much certainty without the absence of risk. So, hindrances which occur in the process of commerce and its related activities are for sure, and those hindrances can be controlled or prevented using the following things. First of all, you need to remember what are the hindrances of trade. Hindrances of trade are as follows: hindrances of place, hindrances of time, hindrances of knowledge, hindrances of finance, and hindrances of risk. So kindly note all these points which are involved in the commerce, and here comes the main term, aids to trade or auxiliaries to trade. This is the second term which is involved in the equation of commerce. Kindly remember the equation of commerce. It is commerce is equal to commerce is equal to trade plus aids to trade. Commerce is equal to trade plus aids to trade. And here we are explaining the hindrances by the aids to trade terms. First, we have explained about the hindrance of place. Hindrance of place, it can be removed with the help of transportation. Okay, hindrance of place, it can be removed with the help of transportation. Next, hindrance of time. Hindrance of time, it can be removed with the help of warehousing. How it can be helped with the help of warehousing is that if the products or the goods for manufacturing or for the final consumption are coming from another country, the final consumers are not waiting for the products to come. They'll need the product or they'll buy the product only when it is necessary for them. So, the products from other countries which are imported need to be stored in a place. So, that place, it may be like godowns or warehouses. If it's of perishable ones, then that needs to be stored in cold storage warehouses. So, the hindrance of time, it gets removed with the help of warehousing. The first one about the hindrance of place. One good or group of goods, it needs to be transported from one place to another. If the goods are of small weight, it can be transported by persons or individuals or group of individuals from place to place. But if the goods need to be brought from one place to another place which is of far distance, how can it be possible for the people or the persons without the help of transportation? So, at that time, transportation facilities like airways, waterways, and roadways helped in the hindrance which is caused by the place. And next is a hindrance of knowledge. Hindrance of knowledge is merely production of a product and mere transportation of the product from one place to another. Also, its mere storing or its storage in warehouses doesn't make the products reach its final consumers. The consumers need to get the products, or they should be aware of the products which are in the market. In the market, the products which comes in the previous months won't be present in the near future. It can get replaced. So the consumers, they need to be aware of the new and innovative products that comes into the market, thereby removing the hindrance of knowledge. How can the hindrance of knowledge be removed is the question. So that question, gets an answer by the help of advertising. There are advertisements which we see in our television, through other online and social media platforms about a particular product, creates a sense of awareness among the customers, also among the common people, about knowing of a particular product that serves their purpose. So, by knowing that product, people used to collect such products from the market or through any other online platforms. So, the hindrance of knowledge, it can be removed by the techniques and innovative tricks which are used in the advertisement sector. Next is about the hindrance of finance. Finance, we know that it is a lifeblood of business, or it can be called as the lifeblood of commerce. Commerce, business, trade, all is the running through in a smooth manner because of finance. Finance is the main term or the main thing which enhances the business to flourish. If there is lack of finance, there will be no activities going in a smooth manner from the initial to its concluding stage. So the finance, it is very important. Then what does it remove? How can the hindrance of finance can be removed? There comes our banking sector. Banking activities or the banking factor, it removes the hindrance of finance. Finance problems and its related issues can be settled with the help of the banking sector. And from the banking sector, the small people as well as the businessman can open different kinds of accounts for their purpose, and they can withdraw money, they can deposit money, they can invest in for various plans and schemes according to the purpose they are going through. So banking sector, it is a boon for the hindrances which are caused by the finance. Next is about the hindrance of risk. We have studied about what is risk. Risk is something bad or a probability, a chance of something bad happening, which are caused by many reasons: social reasons, economic reasons, man-made causes, natural causes, etc. We'll study about what is risk, what are its factors, what are its types in the coming videos or in the coming sections. So here we need to understand that there is a hindrance of risk which can be arised in the meantime of business, and that hindrance, it can be removed with the help of insurance. So banking sector as well as the insurance sector, they play a very important role in removing the main hindrances of trade. And next is about the hindrance of risk. It can also be covered or it can also be removed through proper packaging. Proper packaging means when we explain about the import of goods or services from another countries to our country, that is in case of domestic trade and as well as in case of external trade, the products which are used may be of perishable in nature, also non-perishable in nature. If the products are of perishable in nature, it is very important that we need to assure that the products are packed very tightly with proper packaging. If it is mechanical devices or electronic devices, it is very important to assure that the products are neatly and properly packed with the related documents. There comes the hindrance of risk which can be covered through insurance. If it is properly packed, even after its packaging, if it is get the wastage or get damaged due to any kind of theft or natural calamities, any fire accidents, etc., those reasons which are out of control from humans, for those reasons insurance sector plays its role, and insurance will be given for those products which are damaged due to the particular reasons. So proper packaging is important. Even if it is damaged after proper packaging, means the insurance sector will be taking care of the rest of the needs of the product. So this is all about the hindrances. And in this hindrance, the main and important term is the auxiliary to trade or aids to trade, which plays an important role and removes all these hindrances which arises in the in terms of the trade activities. So this is all about the meaning of commerce and also about the definition of commerce. I think you understood what the meaning of commerce is and what is its definition together with its equation. Also the hindrances which are involved in commerce. If you have any doubts, kindly email us, which is given in the description box. Also, if you have any doubts, also comment below. Like, share and subscribe to Ali Bros Edusoft Free Education YouTube channel. Thank you.